Good afternoon, I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're watching NewsX this Sunday. Our top focus story this hour, Censor Board Chief Pahlaj Nihalani has lashed out hard at what he considers the free flow of muck into homes. He said that television soaps, reality shows and crime shows are crossing all limits. Shows like Crime Patrol and Savdhan India show the most gruesome and heinous crimes in graphic detail. Nihalani feels restrictions must be imposed on the inflow of software on television before it's too late. Well, it is a call-in segment now. We're opening out our phone lines so you can have your say on this story. We're putting out our numbers there on your screens. You can call in, whatever be your opinion, to share your thoughts on this story. We'll be taking your calls live. Meanwhile, some more reactions coming in on this story.
इन प्रोग्राम से तो सीख मिलती है दर्शकों को। बहुत से हमारे जिंदगी में आस्तीन के सांप होते हैं जिनका हमें पता नहीं होता कि वो हमारी आस्तीन में पल रहे हैं। ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स को देखकर हमें अंदाजा होता है कि जिन लोगों को आप अपना रिश्तेदार समझते हैं, करीबी समझते हैं, पड़ोसी समझते हैं, बिजनेस पार्टनर समझते हैं, ज्यादातर कांड वही लोग करते हैं।
There is guidance systems, there is parental guidance. The whole idea of certification is that every Hollywood film, every European film has to be certified. But the content that is streaming on satellite television on the households sometimes shows some very violent ideas and actual action that depicts blood and gore. Very graphic scenes of violence which cannot be shown to children. And I don't think any parents or guardians would like the youngsters to watch it. So I don't want to sound illiberal here. I just want to be responsible here.
This free flow of the information or the material which is means it is coming direct to home, and film censorship is very strict. You know, the film will be released only after censorship. So without any censorship, this muck is coming to home, to every residences. So what should not be shown, which should not affect the young minds.
Ashok Pandit, filmmaker, is joining us for further perspective on this story. Ashok Pandit, what do you make of Censor Board Chief Pahlaj Nihalani's observations that now he wants to control what you can watch on TV as well?
You see, I'm tired of confronting and, raising questions to his decisions, his diktats. He says that the children are affected by the television programming. I would like to request him to have a debate with today's generation, the next generation, on any subject he wants to. And then he will realize how intelligent and how educated this next generation is to decide what is to be seen, what is not to be seen, and how to go about it. And next, today is talking about television software. Then he will ask news channels to go under censorship. Because news channels, they cover live incidents and stories. He is heading towards that only. My entire contention, my entire thought process is that he wants everything to come under his control. It is a mindset which has to be defeated. It is a mindset which has to be defeated. It is a mindset which has to be questioned by everyone. And the government and the IMD ministry has to, rein in and question his intelligence and his thought process. How can you say television software should be under censor? Then you go on internet and he doesn't realize that
Mr. Pandit, Mr. Pandit, you're raising a valid point. You're raising a valid point that everything is also available online. So will stopping it on TV really curb what he's trying to speak about the graphic nature of violent programs, etc. Mr. Pandit, please stay with us because it is a call-in segment. We are taking our viewers' calls live as well. In fact, Matthew, our first caller, is joining us from Bangalore. Go ahead, Matthew.
I agree with Mr. Pahlaj because, see, if you just see the trend, what has happened in the last decade, before that, what was the content of vulgarity and the crime sort of thing and horror scenes and things, what used to come on the television, it has crossed all limits. And it is easy, I can just give a rosy picture and say it's fine and all those things, this is the new generation and all those things. But the heart of the matter is the new generation is almost, we can say that the damage is totally done. And what is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years, you will see how the crime rates go up and all those things. Every other day you have programs showing that, rape is happening, that is happening, this is happening. From where it is happening? It is either from the online sort of thing, and the television is a real thing. I'll tell you, when we switch on the TV, the young children, they don't understand exactly or take things in the same perspective as the elders see. So the young generation, their mind is really fluctuating. It is very flexible. They don't grasp the things in the way it should be. So it has its own a lot of defects. So I feel that it has to be, it's high time that censoring is done to a limit, especially on the crime.
All right, so censoring is needed on television is what you're saying. Thank you, Matthew, joining us there from Bangalore. Our next viewer is joining us from Lucknow. Shekhar is calling in. Go ahead, Shekhar.
See, I also agree with Pahlaj Nihalani that there has to be some censorship on television because, the kind of content they're showing is one way alarming the people, I agree. But at the same time, it is giving clues to the people how to commit those crimes. And I also see the serials, normal serials, these TV soaps, the kind of degeneration of families is being portrayed is a very dangerous sign.
Okay, we'd have to leave it at that. Shekhar, thanks for joining us with your opinion from Lucknow there. Valid point you're making. According to you, you feel, of course, that some sort of censorship is needed. Mr. Ashok Pandit, if I can draw you back in, some of our initial callers saying that they do agree with Mr. Nihalani's suggestion because they feel that there is, a change in the content that we're seeing on TV and possibly there's some need for someone to observe it and filter it.
No, it's a mindset. If you don't want to see it, you don't see it. Who's asking you to see? You can see the programs of your choice which you want to see. Who has given the right to you to force me what I should see and what I should not see? Who has given you that authority? There is a system. Tomorrow he will ban news channels. He will say the news channels which is covering riots, which is covering rapes, which is covering wars and battles and all the kind of scams. It should go through censor board. There is no end to this. And I really again want Mr. Pahlaj Nihalani to have a debate and in between the youngsters and the youths and the schools and the college students and realize how intelligent they are. They know their job better than us. They know what they should see and what they should not see better than us. Don't question their intelligence. Please don't force things on them. Things don't work like this.
And you also feel that there's no point curbing it on TV because it's available all online, Mr. Pandit.
And he doesn't realize all these news channels, which most of the news channels are operating from abroad as per the laws and rules of those countries, except for few of them. And how can you see, if I have a choice to see a channel which only telecasts satsang, I will see that. If I want to see Crime Patrol, I'll see Crime Patrol. We are not duffers. We are not non-intelligent people. We know what is right and what is wrong. Mr. Nihalani should see what he wants to see and should not see what he doesn't want to see. Why are you challenging the minds and intelligence of youngsters today? Because he says that the youths are getting spoiled. He should realize that the youths are doing brilliant job. Our Prime Minister is proud of the youths of this country. Yes, he's opened so much of options for them. Entire countries, our youth, youngsters are doing so well all over the world. You are questioning their intelligence? Who has given the right to you?
Okay, we leave it at that. Thank you, Ashok Pandit, for joining us with your perspective on this story. Let's also get in further details from Faizan, who is joining us live for further details on this story. Faizan, what more can you tell us about what Pahlaj Nihalani's plans are? He already has been curbing a lot of freedom of expression of movie makers in Bollywood, and now it looks like he's turned his attention to television.
Yes, exactly. This time he has not started a debate on the film like he has to do earlier. This time he has talked about the televisions, as how the norms have been violated by the television soaps and the reality show. What Pahlaj Nihalani has said exactly, he is saying that if the filmmaker is making a movie, he has to go with all the checks. Then why this is not happening with the televisions who are airing with this their shows without check? This is what he has to say. As far as the opinions are concerned, what we are getting from the Bollywood, 5 minutes before I have spoken to Vivek Agnihotri, who is a very well-known director and producer. What he is saying, he is totally disagree with Pahlaj Nihalani. He is saying that Nihalani shouldn't intervene in what is happening in the television industry like he is doing with the films. And as far as the opinion from the public is concerned, like we have spoken, right now we have spoken many of people across the country, what they are saying, what Pahlaj Nihalani exactly has said is very much true and very much correct. Like being a crime journalist, I have seen most of the time in the press conference, whatever has happened in Mumbai, like we have seen police is saying that the cases like theft, robbery, kidnapping, they have got the idea from the shows like Crime Patrol and Savdhania. This is what the Pahlaj Nihalani has said. He has said exactly this should not, whatever the televisions are airing, whatever the content they are airing, that shouldn't impact the young minds. Like Ashok Pandit was saying, the youngsters are doing really very well in this country. Yeah, it's true, but we have to see another fact of this case is that what Pahlaj Nihalani has said, in fact, this is happening in this country. We have seen in most of the press conference in the Mumbai police across the country,
yes,
where the accused are getting ideas from shows like Crime Patrol and Saudhan India.
Okay, stay with us, Faizan. In fact, we're being joined now by more viewers. Arvind is calling in from Pune. Go ahead, Arvind.
I'm seeing your program on TV right now, and I fully support this suggestion by Mr. Pahlaj Nihalani, because I am actually a regular watcher of this Crime Patrol, and actually I like that serial very much. I am a big fan of Anup Soni. However, the kind of crimes they show in graphic details, I do have objection to that, and I feel I fully support Pahlaj Nihalani's suggestion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Arvind, joining us there with your opinion from Pune. So it's quite interesting, while of course some viewers, Faizan, are supporting this, this assertion of Pahlaj Nihalani, but what others like Ashok Pandit say is you can curb it on TV, but all these details, all these programs are all available online. Okay, well, before I come to Faizan, I'll quickly get in Vivek Agnihotri, filmmaker who is joining us on NewsX. Vivek Agnihotri, how do you react to this assertion, this suggestion by Pahlaj Nihalani? It seems after censoring movies, now he's looking at television.
I'm against any kind of censorship, any kind of control. And I think nobody has a right to question what is coming on television or anywhere. And first of all, fundamentally we are wrong. There should not be any kind of censorship in films also. So first the government should abolish censor board or film certification board. And I'm waiting keenly for the Sham Benegal committee. And I don't understand why anybody has to speak about television and all those things. We are a democracy. And in 2017, you just cannot control knowledge and information. It's stupidity to think that anybody can control it. Even if you want to control it, you can't control it. So what's the point talking about Stone Age policies?
Okay, and do you also, the other assertion is by some, Mr. Agnihotri, some of our viewers who have been calling in, is that they do agree that sometimes crime shows are getting a bit too graphic in nature, so possibly some curbing is needed. How do you who have been calling in is that they do agree that sometimes crime shows are getting a bit too graphic in nature, so possibly some curbing is needed. How do you react to these opinions coming in?
See, we live in an open world. We live in a globalized world. These kind of things are going to happen. You are going to be exposed to things which you don't like. There is so much of violence which is available on social media and WhatsApp and all. People see that and people keep forwarding it. And the same people then say, no, it shouldn't be shown on our TV because they know that TV can be controlled. So this is a kind of a hypocrisy. There should not be in modern societies and modern civilizations. And if you want your people who are illiterate, if you want them to grow, they need to be exposed to all kinds of things, right? So I don't agree with all these kind of things, It doesn't make any sense to me.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Vivek Agnihotri, thanks for joining us with your perspective on this story. Let's go back to Faizan Khan, who is still live with us. Faizan, as of course, I was asking you earlier, the assertion of, filmmakers is that a lot of the content is available online. So what's the point of curbing it on TV? And also the assertion is we live in a globalized world. If we live in a world where anyways our young generation is exposed to a lot.
Yes, exactly. What Pahlaj Nihalani has said in his interviews, he has exactly said the TV contents, this shouldn't cross the limit like it's happening in most of these shows. As far as the online shows are concerned, most of the cases we have seen in Mumbai and across India, the first idea criminals have got removing the CDR, the call detailed reports, if they are committing any sort of crime. From where they get this idea is exactly we have seen most of the cases Mumbai police saying they are getting these ideas from the crime shows like Crime Patrol in Southern India. This has to be understood, and the filmmakers and the TV the producers who are making their shows on the television like reality shows and other shows, they have to understand what content exactly they are showing. Like Vivek Agnihotri just had said, putting censorship is not a good move. Like Pahlaj Nihalani has said, there has to be some monitoring agencies, like we have seen Information and Broadcast Ministry is looking after this seriously. They have found out some monitoring agencies who can continuously monitor the things which is being aired on the televisions and other channels. They have to monitor that, and they have to look after what exactly which channels.
Yes.
But as far as the online videos is concerned, that has to look after.
Stay with us. We're being joined by more viewers now who are calling in. Sanjeev Singla is joining us from Ludhiana. Go ahead, Sanjeev. Sanjeev Singla, if you can hear me. Okay, we seem to have lost that line with Sanjeev from Ludhiana, but this, of course, is the big story we are tracking for you this hour, where Pahlaj Nihalani, of course, it seems, has advocated for a certain amount of censorship for content on television. We're being joined now by another viewer who's calling in from Kochi. Vimal is joining us. Vimal, go ahead.
Yeah, I just heard this debate on TV. Now, the thing is that what Pahlaj Nihalani has said is absolutely correct. Now, I'm calling from Kochi, Kerala. Now, if you watch the content that go on TV after 7 p.m., it's a lot of rubbish actually. It's in very much vulgar, and it is time that somebody come and censor this stuff that is shown on TV. Now, like Ashok Pandit said, so you can just turn off the TV. That is what he's saying. But obviously the viewers can't know or anticipate what is being about to be shown on TV. Now, if I know that it's a movie made by Ashok Pandit, and I can just opt not to watch the movie, I can just skip it. But that's not the case when somebody's watching TV, a serial or something on TV. So obviously it is time that somebody comes and censor what is shown there.
Okay.
That's my honest view.
Fair enough. We leave it at that. Vimal, thanks for joining us with your opinion from Kochi. YB Swami now joining us from Hyderabad. Mr. Swami, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel that some amount of control is required everywhere. Otherwise, the society will just go haywire. Always in a country, there must be some control. Okay, we may have internet available without any control right now, but gradually I think there must be some way of controlling or at least watching everything. Otherwise, the society cannot go in a particular direction.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Swami, joining us there from Hyderabad. So, of course, this is the latest coming in with regards to this story. We'll thank all our viewers for joining us, calling in, sharing your opinion. Also, thanks to Faizan, who joined us earlier. A quick break on that note.